Hope everybody's having a good holiday weekend. You know, I really hate mainstream media. One thing I've learned over the years, especially after being in one of Jehovah's Witnesses for so many years, was emotional manipulation. And it amazes me just how well the media can control people. Most of you probably know that we do have a hurricane that is, as the time of this recording, is bashing the Bahamas right now. And for the last several days, the media has had everybody in my area in a royal panic. Gas stations are out of gas days ago. Food's flying off the shelves. You'd swear these people have never seen a storm before. But the one thing is, it's not just the fact that there's a hurricane coming in, it's the way that the media is presenting it. And this isn't new, they've been doing this for several years now. They got people so wound up several days ago. It was like people were coming into gas stations from every different direction. Like I said, the local grocery stores, food was flying off the shelves. And then the next day, they were given a false sense of security. They were literally told, well, we don't think the hurricane's coming here. Okay, first of all, this early in the game, you really don't know where it's going. So this tells me, is this a natural phenomenon or was it genetically modified? Anyways, one day they have everybody in a panic. Next day, false sense of security. Well, right now, everybody's in a panic again. Because to be honest with you, nobody knows where it's going. It looks as though it is heading straight for this area right now. So today we boarded up work. So the only time I can get time off of work is when there's a storm. So we're all boarded up. So I don't know when this storm is supposed to make landfall. I'm hearing tomorrow night, then I'm hearing early Tuesday. I don't know. But the media is just phenomenal with that. We went through this about 3 years ago with Hurricane Matthew. Now, this was about a month and a half after I was DF'd. And there was a reason why I remembered that. The Weather Channel, of all things, was talking about the hurricane. It was the most devastating hurricane in the Atlantic in hundreds of years. And if you don't evacuate, if you stay, you will die. They actually said that. Now, what happened to the weather when they just would report the facts and leave it at that? No, they've got to turn it into a freaking soap opera. As it was, at the time I was living on the water, I opted to stay because the place I was living at was quite solid. Probably was more solid than any other place in town. So the police came to my door and they told me the same thing. If you stay here, you will die. Okay, where else am I going to go at this point? So I stayed. Funny thing was, just a month and a half earlier, when I was one of Jehovah's Witnesses, I was DF'd August of that year, 2016. And just days prior to that, if you don't come back to the Kingdom Hall, if you leave Jehovah, you will die. And that was the first thing I thought of when the police said that at my door. You will die. And you know, that phrase lost a lot of punch, especially when you hear that human colostomy bag, Darrell Weilberg, say the same thing. Just doesn't have the same effect. Because as it was, here it is. 3 years later, neither Jehovah nor Hurricane Matthew did me in. Not getting cocky about it because I was just fortunate it never made landfall. They were sure it was going to make landfall, but it just glided up the coast. Another engineered storm. So to tell you the truth, I don't know where this storm is going to go. I don't know how bad things are going to get. This is kind of why I'm uploading this video. I wasn't really planning on it, but we had two back-to-back hurricanes come through in 2004 within 2 weeks of each other, and this place looked like a war zone for a year. I was without power for very close to a month. So I'm thinking the same thing. If this storm does make landfall, if it does come into this area is ripe for it. It will be waylaid. I don't know how long I'm going to be without power. So when the storm does make landfall, I will be shutting everything down just to conserve power on my phones, my devices, and everything like that. So just in case you're not hearing from me if I vanish, that's why. I'll turn the phones on periodically to see if I get any text messages, but that's about it. Like I said, if it does make landfall here, I don't know how long it's going to last. The funny things I look at without power, and after the devastation, after the place has been waylaid, the one thing I look for is coffee. I cannot function until I hit that coffee maker. Matter of fact, when I wake up, I instinctively go to that coffee maker. And the funny thing is, I miss the old style percolators. You have a gas stove, you put it on there, you're good to go. But the more technology advances, the more fragile things get. Because now, let's face it, all coffee makers need electricity. Power goes out, you don't have a generator, you're screwed. And coffee, that's one thing I need. I mean, I'll eat the grounds right out of the can if I have to. Anyways, guys, I just wanted to let you know what was going on. I'm sure everybody's heard about Hurricane Dorian, but as things are now, I am right in its path, and I really don't know what's going to happen with it. I'm kind of hoping it skates and turns around and bangs about out in the Atlantic, but knowing how things work right now, I don't think it's going to. But if the power does go out, I will see you as soon as possible. You guys enjoy the rest of your weekend. I'll be talking to you soon.